forests, feelings, and facts. I grew up in the Midwest, where my favorite places were the forests and sometimes the streets of downtown Chicago. City smog was at times part of the skyline. Today, I live in Montana, surrounded by a new kind of forest, and now facing a new kind of smog, wildfire smoke. These skies aren't just a nuisance, they reveal a system out of balance. When we talk about forests and wildfires, we're really talking about something bigger, how decisions are made and who profits from them. For decades, scientists, rangers, and indigenous leaders have studied forests and know what works, yet their voices are often ignored or distorted. Why? Because a small few profit from confusion. Their playbook is simple: twist facts into fear and turn fear into money. That is manipulation. What I call man-ipulation or even money-ipulation. We see this playbook clearly in how the phrase climate change has been weaponized. What started as a call to reduce pollution, something nearly everyone supports, was twisted into a wedge issue. Instead of uniting around cleaner air and healthier communities, we were divided by slogans and fear. The manipulators don't care about science or smoke filled skies. They care about keeping people distracted and divided, while the profits keep flowing. False choices fuel this manipulation. We're told it's either jobs or trees, safety or science, growth or conservation. Reality isn't that simple. We do need wood for homes. We do need lumber companies. That's capitalism, and it has value. But capitalism without balance becomes greed. The real question isn't whether companies work with scientists, rangers, and communities or against them. And right now, too often, it's against. This is where democracy should matter most. Government is meant to represent the will of the majority, and the majority of the people want healthy forests, safe homes, and fair use of resources. Yet, too often, policy follows the interests of the few. The manipulators now control too many levers of power, selling off our natural resources for short term profit. That is why voting matters. When government is manipulated, the public loses. When capitalism is unchecked, profits rise above people. And when science is sidelined, truth gets buried under opinion. The experts are not missing. Forest rangers test, learn, and adapt. Indigenous leaders bring cultural burning practices that restore balance. Scientists provide decades of research. The problem isn't knowledge, it's that their voices are drowned out by noise. To move forward, we need to quiet the extremes, stop feeding them energy, and center the conversation in the middle where most of us already agree. And that middle is strong. Most of us want clean air, safe communities, and forests that are sustainable while still providing what we need. We respect science when it cures disease. Why not when it shows us how to manage fire? We respect capitalism when it builds homes. Why not when it works hand in hand with sustainability? The middle path is there, but we only reach it when we step away from outrage and move toward clarity. That is what the 90-90 mission is all about. 90% of humanity shares core values: fairness, compassion, honesty, respect, responsibility, community, and growth. These values already guide how most of us want to live. The manipulators are the outliers. By refusing to argue with them and refusing to let fear set the agenda, we keep our focus on unity and purposeful action. Forests and wildfires are just one example, but the lesson applies everywhere. The real problem isn't science, resources, or even disagreement. The problem is manipulation. The solution is clarity. When we align capitalism, democracy, and community around shared values, we build systems that serve people instead of profits alone. That is how we shift from fear to purpose. So here is the path forward. Start in the middle. Choose facts over feelings. Respect expertise. Expect capitalism to serve people, not the other way around. And remember, democracy is strongest when the majority sets the mission clearly. When we vote with clarity, we take back power from those selling off our future. And when we act from unity instead of division, the pool rises above the pyramid. This is how we start with clarity, with unity, with action, not by feeding extremes, but by building from the middle out. Forests remind us that balance is possible. And if we could protect them through cooperation instead of manipulation, we could protect the future we all share. Let's rise together